We're back with another installment of CrossFire, getting you ready for the 2022 NFL season. As always, joined by Dane Brugler of The Athletic. I'm Chris Hayre, and Dane's going to debate some of the best and brightest in the NFL. And today it's Nate Tice of The Athletic. Gentlemen, our topic today is just the overarching season preview. We have 4 questions. And number 1, Nate, you can kick us off here. Expectations for Justin Herbert in year 3.
Should I act like a coach? I just want to improve 1%. No, I think with
1% every day.
1% every day. No, I think Justin Herbert is a very, very valid MVP candidate. And I think every way, shape, and form you look at it, narrative, statistical performance, anything you look, I see all the angles going to that for not only for the Chargers, but because to be MVP QB, your team has to do well as well. So I think an improvement for his year, a 42 plus kind of touchdown year. He already hit 5,000 yards before, but maybe more of a balanced performance from that whole offense through the run game will help him out. But I truly see an all pro type, even an MVP consideration for him. I really think this is all shaping up to a very exciting year for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, expectations are truly sky high. I mean, You take what he did as a rookie, NFL record for touchdown passes, offensive rookie of the year. And then last year, only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL had at least 5,000 passing yards and at least 38 touchdown passes. And that's Herbert and the best to ever do it, Tom Brady. So you look at the Chargers last year on offense, the improvements they made. They were top 3 in the league in red zone offense, top 5 in third down efficiency. And Herbert owns just about every NFL record for a quarterback's first 2 seasons in the NFL. So you take Herbert's trajectory, you look at the offensive line, it was better last season. Plus, they only make it better with Zion Johnson in the first round. I think the biggest unknown might be how much will offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi open the playbook now in year 2 of this system with Herbert. Herbert's talent is, there's no question about the physical part of it, his arm, his athleticism, his smarts. So I have no doubt that Herbert can surpass the production he had last year. But it will take a little bit of help from, I think, the play caller and just opening up the playbook a little more.
And Lombardi said Justin's going from football 101 last year to 202. So the playbook may be looking a little bit different this year. And you said it, listen, the individual success has been great, but Justin, more than anybody, wants that team success. And if they get to the postseason, no doubt an MVP candidate. All right, next question. Projections for this Brandon Staley revamped Chargers defense. This defense looks markedly different, Nate, than it did last season.
Yeah, just the names that are there. Last year, it felt like Joey Bosa and the Bosa-ettes, especially in the front 7. And now they had some solid defensive back pieces. Obviously, adding J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack. I mean, that's the 2 star powers. But then you get kind of the other guys, I should say, the role players, the super role players, the Sebastian Joseph Days, the Morgan Foxes. Those are the guys that are really going to matter. Yes, you need those guys to hit the home runs in your lineup, but you also need the guys to get on base. You need the guys to not just create an out every time they're on the field. I know I'm going cross sports references, but that's kind of how I go about this. But they're not the sexiest players, but they're useful. And I think that's what's going to matter for this defense. If this offense is as explosive as I think we all think it's going to be, this defense, I think it has a real valid path to be good. And at the very least, keep them in the games where they're not getting 6 yards a pop on the run game. Those types of games where it's more frustrating. But they had games where they're very close because they're letting up these long drives on defense. So I think not even just create turnovers, but just getting off the field and getting the ball back into the offense's hand. Also, I really want kind of this guy, Derwin James, I think we all love. The other safety, I'm excited to see Nasir Adderley take another leap forward this year. Last year, I started kind of watching him a little bit more than Derwin. Even though I was supposed to be studying Derwin, I was like, I kind of watch Adderley a little bit running around out there. He's an athlete that's developing into being a better football player. And this type of defense that needs football IQ, it's kind of cool to see that kind of melting pot that's going on with him. So I'm excited to see this defense. Even a guy like Kyle Van Noy is going to be a nice super sub. A guy that's been asked to play so many roles on defense, that helps as a sub. Okay, we have an injury. Okay, he can play this role for this game. That really helps for a defense to be consistent throughout the year, as opposed to maybe having highs and super lows.
You know, Dane, Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco talked about having a deeper and more complete team, and I think they accomplished that on defense, especially in the back end with the secondary.
No doubt. You talk about Bryce Callahan. talk about J.C. Jackson. The secondary looks a lot different and a lot better. I mean, the upgrades they made, and I'm glad that Nate brought up Nasir Adderley, because I agree 100%. Watching him back in college as a prospect at Delaware, and then talking to him, how this is a guy that gets it. He takes coaching really well. He's really smart, all football all the time. So I think he's not hit that ceiling yet. He's going to continue to get better and better. They also drafted JT Woods out of Baylor in the top 80 picks in the draft. And so I think he's too good to keep off the field. He'll be added somewhere, whether they go 3 safety look or they want to make him more of a nickel. It'll be interesting. But, at every level of the defense, they got better. I'm glad Nate mentioned Sebastian Joseph Day. How important of addition that was for, the Chargers defense that just was flat out bad against the run last year. And, we know Staley, had Joseph Day with the Rams and that connection, how important that is. The big ticket signings with Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. So everything points to the defense making a substantial improvement this year, especially with Staley, second year with the team, first real full off season. So it'll be interesting with because I think we also have to mention every offense in the AFC West got better. And maybe you could look to the Chiefs and they lost Tyreek Hill. As long as Andy Reid and Mahomes are there, that offense is going to be humming. You look at the Broncos, adding Russell Wilson. You look at the Raiders, Devontae Adams. You bring in a Josh McDaniels type of offense. So it'll be interesting, not only the development of the defense, but how it reacts to some of the new additions on offense around the division.
Great points. Austin Johnson, another guy across the defensive line that's just another piece to help stop the run in Los Angeles. All right, number 3 here. Most anticipated games on the Chargers schedule. Nate, obviously we know about the AFC West, but even going beyond the AFC West, there's some good matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with the AFC West one. I can't wait is that Thursday night football game, week 2 against the Chiefs. I think all of us have that circle, star, triangle, highlighted, however you want to put it. I think the whole stretch at the end of the season, I'm really excited to see. They have matchups against the Titans and Colts, Rams, Broncos. So it's really a pick 'em for me of that 4, because I think those could be some really interesting games, especially that Colts game. This Colts team is a very intriguing team with Matt Ryan trade and just how their makeup is. They could be, I wouldn't say surprising people, but they could be a very valid team, very competitive team this year. So I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, the Rams game on New Year's Day. I think those are back-to-back weeks, I believe. So I think those 2 right there are the ones I really have circled. So I'm saying I'm waiting for the holiday season. It's like I'm excited. I'm literally excited for Christmas and New Year's Day is what I'm saying for the Chargers games as well.
Dane, no shortage of great games.
Nate set it up perfectly, because that first half of the schedule, there are a lot of, should be wins. There's really no such thing in the NFL, but in comparison to the second half of the season, that's where it really kicks up. And of course you've got the AFC West matchups, but Nate set it up. That week 17 matchup on New Year's Day, the 2 LA teams, Chargers against the Super Bowl defending champion Rams. You think about what could be on the line for that one, whether it's playoff seeding, a spot in the playoffs. That's going to be a really good matchup, and I think plenty's going to be on the line for both teams.
Final question, gentlemen. The Chargers' record in 2022, and how far do they go, Nate?
And I'm glad Dane mentioned that about the first half of the season, because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, there's a Jaguars matchup. Okay, Browns might have an iffy situation this year. Okay, that's kind of nice for the first half. I have the record as 11-6. I could see it going one each way, crazy. That's how the NFL works. Oh, wow, there could be some 50-50 games. Easily make the playoffs. It's going to be a battle to win that AFC West title. I think everybody's going to be beating up on each other. It's so many good teams, so many good units. I think it's at least one playoff win. If things break right, you're looking at a Final Four. I think 11-6 and one playoff win is my reasonable expectations for the Chargers.
I was really hoping to debate Nate with some of these questions, but I got the same.
Too
exact
agreeable
thing.
Today, guys.
It's funny. You look at the Chargers. They've only won double-digit games once the last dozen years.
Yeah.
And so I think they get back there. I really do. I think 10.5 is kind of maybe the over/under I'm looking at. I'm going to take the over. With the offense led by Justin Herbert and the defense, you expect to be better. I'm going to say a wild card berth. I'm going to say the Chiefs get 12 wins. I'm going to say that the Chiefs come out of there as the division winner, but the Chargers, I think, are going to the playoffs. And nobody wants to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs. And so I think there's a good chance, they rattle off 1 or 2 wins in the postseason and just take another step towards being one of the better teams, not only in the AFC, but in the entire NFL.
Let's go have a season, gentlemen. This has been fun. This has been Crossfire.
If you want to see more content like this, check out the link right here.